Wow, to look back.
4 years, bro. 4 years. Well, good evening, guys. Like I said, today, my plan is to really go over one of Brandon's recent deals. Like I said, I just always like to highlight the success of, people that are in the group. As always, it's going to be recorded. But there's a few reasons why I wanted to talk about this deal because I realized who you did the deal with, and Ben and I have done a couple deals with them. But I really wanted to start maybe. If you could talk about your relationship with that person, how you met them and everything like that, and then we can kind of ease into your deal and I'll kind of interject every now and then. Cause like I said, um, I saw your guys' post last week. So, obviously I'm a big fan of both of you guys. So I was just curious, how you met them. Cause Ben and I, we wholesaled, it was Lily. We wholesaled her a deal,
Okay.
back
Yeah.
in I think the first deal was like 2019, and then I actually wholesaled one last year, which I can talk about a little bit about once you get into your story. But we actually made 40K on that one, and we split it with another wholesaler that she bought. So yeah, can you just talk a little bit of how? Because I think the thing I want to point out is like mending those relationships, and you never know how they're going to work out, and how we've all done deals with this person, and been able to make money, and they're killing it. They've been in the game for a while, right?
Yeah. There's a couple of key things you said in that was one, y'all did 40K and she didn't care, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't one of those buyers like, oh, you made too much money on the deal. And two, um, it's throwback. Like if you know them, you know they chill, super chill, like a bubble. Like they're not really out there and marketing a lot. They really just chill in their own circle. So um I met them actually from Facebook, and I asked her a question way back in 2019 when I was like first starting. I actually asked her a question. So our first 3 or 4 interactions was just me asking a question for some advice because she seemed wholesome, and she answered them with no problem. You dig? And then after that, I just started shooting deals before I even had a buyer's list. So that's how our relationship go back. But I think the main thing is she's seen our consistency.
Mm.
You know. Now she did buy a deal from us or two, and the way this deal worked out, she just bought one. Is amazing. Nobody else wanted it, and
Mm.
and I just happened to text her because I was thinking about her for some reason and said, hey, you know what? I got a deal. I think it was in Bay Cliff. I said you might be interested in this one. I don't know if you've seen the email blast. She said, Brandon, I've been so busy I didn't see the email blast. So when I texted her, I just texted the email. I just copied and pasted and texted to her, and her husband loved it more than her. So she was like, "Yeah, we want it," and it was just like that. So once she closed that one, we haven't done a deal in like 2 years, but we always talked about the deals, and she would say why she didn't want the deal. That was cool. But to be honest with you, our main relationship was me asking her for advice for
Got you.
like
And
three
so
for 3 years, bro.
from the time like you DM'd her, right, to ask her questions, how long from then to you all did that was the first deal y'all did? You said it was in Bay Cliff, right?
No, no, that was the second deal she purchased from me, Bay Cliff.
Okay.
She bought two,
How long from the initial interaction did it take till y'all did your first deal together?
probably about a year and a half. A
Okay.
firehouse. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yep. I mean, she looked at him. I guess it was the price was too high, or she didn't like him, or other area. But um, seeing that the portfolio she has now, I'm surprised she didn't buy buy some of them deals. But it took a minute, and some of that was us. Like we had to get it right. Remember when I first started talking to her, I didn't know shit at that time. I'm talking about really, we didn't know nothing. Me and my wife was like scrambling. But certain people I asked advice, and she was one of them. So from contracts back then to like uh, walking the property, certain questions I asked her, she answered it, and on our end, we just kept at it. So, and I'm gonna tell you another tip that I did. I like people posts.
Mhm.
I am one that will go if I see it and I know you, I'm gonna boom it like the boom with the little thing, or I'm gonna like it because that I think that matter. I got deals from that, and I'm not saying that now for y'all. The thing I'm just trying to play on y'all, but for real, support. Let me change the word support. I
Yeah.
support people, so I supported them every time I see something. It could be kids, boom, 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 over and over again. I support it. So when I reached out, I didn't think it was a problem for her to reach back.
Yeah, but I think that's very important too for a couple of things that I want to point out because a lot of the relationships that I have, I mean, with you, with Ben, everything, right? And it's funny because that's what you always comment, boom, right?
Yep.
But
Boom.
but the beautiful thing about how Facebook works and how we've talked about it is, the more you interact with somebody, the more you see their content and vice versa, right? So what that does simultaneously is that's building the relationship for you, kind of in a sense of how AI would follow up with somebody, but that's just how the algorithm works, right? That's why I always say, go into the groups and start looking at deals, right? Commenting on deals, just
Yeah.
interacting with those posts
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because when I get on Facebook, it's all deals, right? And it's their content. So I think that's just I don't want to look past that because that's so important, like you said, because I mean, it's same with me and you, right? It slowly builds credibility in their mind whether they see you or you see their posts, and like you said, not just business stuff, family stuff, things that matter to
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how we build a relationship with people.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
is she the fire damage one who specifically does fire damage?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's her. Okay.
She loves fire damage. That's not all now. That's not all she do now. But that was kind of like one of their mainstreams because they got a
Gotcha.
construction company inside of there. They got their own they do their own thing, so they cut costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the big pink truck. That's how I first. So before I even got into real estate, right? When I was first getting into real estate, there's a house that burnt by me. I pass the house every day. Um, and there was a big ass pink old, it looked like an old U-Haul truck, I think is what it is. Like she probably bought it at auction for low. And it just had, I can't even remember. She has like when she does the fire damage, it's like a slogan or something, right? But that always stuck with me, right? When I first got into real estate, I'm like, it's got to be a fix and flipper, and I had no idea who it is, right? So to be talking about this person and to know that we've done deals with them, it's just crazy how life comes full circle, right? Because that was like right after I went to that seminar. But keeping, like you said, keeping things in house, and the fact that we all know her as the fire damage person, but like you said, she does more.
Yeah,
She's an investor, but that's her specialty, right? That's what she's marketed herself as on Facebook,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And we sat down and had coffee, tea, things like that. And she shared like I didn't know how long she'd been in the business. It's like over 20 years of doing this, man. 25 years. So you got somebody been in the game that long. So from my experience, some other people I know have been over 2 decades. They look at how you carry yourself, like how you really moving, how you talk, how you have integrity. And the eight package deal came about me being brave enough to ask. Like I didn't know if I was gonna be able to sell that deal. I didn't know I'd be able to close that deal. When I saw it, I made it seem like that. Why you didn't ask me? Why you putting it all here for all the people to come just bum rush you with a bunch of phone calls and emails and text me? Are you ready for that? Let me do it for you. And she was like, you know what, Brandon? You're right. She had to change that number twice since she did the first post. She changed her phone number twice, bro.
Oh,
So that
damn.
was twice. Because I had the number. I was like, I thought you were gonna give me the contract. We got a contract and I can't get in touch with you no more. I had to go on Messenger. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, I changed my number. Again? Yeah. So the service we provided was not only trying to wholesale 8 houses at one time, we took all that bullshit out the way.
Yeah.
You got real buyers, but then you got, people like me gonna come in and we want to wholesale it. I'm not buying 8 houses for $1.8 million. That was the price at the time, by the way, it was too high, but that was the original price that she wanted. So for me, the short version is you're right. It was a relationship that got the deal. But I think for me, it was like the consistency we've had over the years. It was being brave. It was having confidence, some integrity, and being liberated. Because I don't mind. That's had times I would share a expensive deal, not knowing that it was too high, but I wasn't scared to do it because in the past, when I've done it or I didn't do it, say for instance, I see the deal, I run a comp, I don't like the deal, I think it's too high, and I see somebody else close it. I was like, man, I had that deal. Man, I passed it up. I can't believe somebody bought that deal. So when it was close, I ain't never did it again. If I got my hands on it, I'm gonna get it, right? So for her, she knows that I will market something that's a little high, and then we just gonna be honest and transparent throughout the process and talk about how we're gonna bring that price down with somebody that's real. And that's what happened. We did that deal at 1.55 million, but it was 1.8 when she started. That's like $300,000, decrease, bro. So I think with me, it was like she trusted that I'm gonna tell her the truth, and I ain't gonna try to knock her socks off with like a wholesale fee. And actually, I couldn't wholesale it. We had to agree on a percentage of the final sale. You understand what I'm saying? Like the price is too high to even wholesale it. You can't wholesale it at the time. That's like if I got numbers if you want to get into it, but like 8 houses at 1.8 million, it was like 200 and some thousand a door. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah.
Would
Hey,
you buy that?
hey, so she had to do a price reduction with the seller, is that right? Or she minimized,
No, she is the seller.
Oh, got
Buyer
you.
turned seller, bro. That's what the beauty
Got
of it.
you.
She was
Okay.
the buyer. She's buying properties from us and y'all, right? And now she wants to offload a portfolio.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so she was the seller. So imagine that. You negotiate with your buyer, and now you're coming back and negotiate with your buyer as a seller. you
Yeah,
know?
so let me tell you a full circle moment. So about a month ago, I got an email from a title company that said, "Hey, Derek, we got this memo that we need you to release." And I'm like, "What property is this?" And then I see it's her, right? And the title company, and she just said, "Hey, Derek, I'm selling this house now." I guess the memo popped up. It didn't get cleared, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, right." So I didn't even think about it, right? Just send off the memo, cleared it, and then
You didn't ask
I
for no money.
no, 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 because I mean we clearly wholesaled it to her. It was Donald Bain. I don't know if you remember. It was a problem property. We didn't even make that much money. I think we made like 6K.
Oh,
I was
man.
trying to find like it was one of those like we couldn't get anybody to buy it, and it had this weird wonky addition. And the seller was really crazy. He was a VA, like a veteran. So it was just a lot going on, right? And this is Ben and I had only been working together for like 2 years or a year and a half or something, not long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I brought her in because I think I had wholesaled her a deal just by myself before. So she ended up closing. We made like 6K, but that was the deal. That was our first deal, right? That we did. Like I said, we've done several since. But it was just funny because then I saw your post and I know that she bought a lot in that area and probably still does. So I was like, it was probably that title company part of your deal, which was full circle for me, which is why I wanted, you to talk about the deal. And because I knew she doesn't trust a lot of people, right? Because like you said,
Exactly.
if you know this person, she's not on the internet, right? Most active people, and I think it's a really good point. Most active people, especially in Houston, that like are really doing shit, a lot of them aren't on social media like that. Like they're in the business, right? Like they're doing
They're
shit.
busy.
Right.
Busy, busy, like literally. And so, you know, I just knew like for her to trust you to sell houses, right? That relationship had to be there, right? And I remember you talking
Oh,
about the deal, but we didn't know who the seller was. I'm not going to ask you that, obviously. So it's a cool full circle moment. So you go to her, you're like, "Hey, look, I see this." She was blasting it basically, and you reach back out to her, or what? You saw it through email. Like, how did you initially see the property?
so first of all, Donald Bain was part of that. I got all the addresses here. Donald Bain was one of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Since you
yeah.
brought it up, Donald Bain was one of them. So that was yeah, I know who reached out to you then. Yeah.
Yeah.
She put it in a real estate investment group. She put it in a one of the Houston real estate investment groups, and I've been kind of busy myself. Where I haven't been going in as much, like putting properties there. For some reason, it popped up, man. And it popped up on my feed, and it probably because of her name or something. But I saw it. It was like, oh hell no, what you doing? So I was like, nah, nah. So I reached out. Now, when I reached out, she said she's talking about 3 or 4 people. She already talking about 3 or 4 people just that fast. So I said, look, I don't have time to run comps on all 8 houses. I treated it like a multifamily deal from some of my multifamily experience. I did a quick cap rate on it. I hit her with the cap rate. It was like, hey, your cap rate kind of low. It was like 6 something, like just 6. I was like, I don't know. You about to get a lot of. You're gonna, get a lot of tire kickers, right? You're gonna get. I think it's gonna be tough. Let me really see it, and let me take that off your shoulders, and stop posting it. Take it down. Take it down right now. And so when she decided to agree, I think she took, that night, because I started late that night, about 7, and I reached out, and she said, "Okay, Brandon, let's talk about it." We talked about it. I said, "Let me try. I got people that'll buy something like this a little more." It's because it was almost retail. So I said, the only way I think this could happen if you treat it like a multifamily with a cap rate, with an NOI, with a profit and loss statement. We can't do it like you just trying to sell some houses. And all of them had Section 8 tenants in it. So now you even decrease your buyer pool. Everybody don't want to deal with that. Now some of these houses look good for a Section 8, like they're like in a good area. I'm just saying this Houston got some good Section 8 houses. Man, we walk in the 17 house package for her right now, by the way. Since we closed that, now I'm doing 17 for her. And some of them houses, man, they look good for Section 8. But so I switched it to the NOI. So when she told me yes, little did she know it's already posted. So people who saw it saw it. So when I did it, I automatically knocked off like 100, 150K. So they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, I saw this at 1.8. Now it's 1.7. Okay, Brandon got it. It gotta be because it's lower than anybody else." So I just set the tone right out the gate. Hey, I'm coming to 100 because I knew 1.8 was gonna work. So now I got all the attention. And I didn't do none of my regular email blast or none of that. I just did a regular post and then I emailed a few people that I know that like that, like a group. I didn't do like the whole buyers list deal
Yeah.
because people know the deal. And then one of
Right.
my posts, somebody knew who it was, and they came talking shit. So I had to delete their message. I didn't want everybody to see that. Yeah. So now that we got it lower than what she started at, we got traction, bro. We got traction. I'm having phone calls. I'm having emails. I'm having text messages. Now I'm getting real numbers. So when I start bringing her 3 or 4 or 5 real offers, now she see where it's at, and then we worked out our deal. I called it a marketing consulting fee agreement. Sent that to her. She signed it. Then it was all mine. Do whatever I want. Let's go. And it didn't take long. I think the first date was, I think she posted it February 3rd. I think we started discussing it February 4th. I think she signed my contract February 6th or 7th. And we closed, I think, March 13th or something. Like, bro, 30 days.
Yeah, that's fast. Hey, I was gonna ask, how does a showing go for 8 houses and multiple buyers and everything? How'd you do that?
So we wasn't doing multiple buyers. She wasn't having that. It wasn't like a
Okay,
regular. Everybody had, so every house had a tenant in it.
got you.
That's
Yeah,
a problem right there. That is a problem. Even though, you know, it's her house, it's not their house. Y'all have tenants. You imagine how that is. So we got 8. And she said her personality, she can't deal with them. She like my personality. She want me to show them. I guess I gotta earn my money, right? So I'm gonna go show them, and I'm gonna talk to the tenant. So they had to have a regular contract with an option period. That's how we did it. That's how we know who was gonna be serious. You couldn't have 10 people walking these houses. That wasn't happening. So I
yeah.
filtered through my buyers and was having real conversation with them, bro. I need a real number. We not going to do this over and over and over again. We need the solid shit. So what happened was somebody was really solid and they outbid everybody just to get in the door. I already knew the game. I think we did like a $500 option period, 5 days. We're gonna see 8 houses in 5 days, really about 2 days, and then they get their contractors to look at it and stuff, and then come drop the 1% earnest money. So I actually went to all houses with the buyer in their group. So it was like 3 of them, and man, them tenants act like it's their house. It's amazing.
Oh, that's good. That's great. Shit.
Yeah, we didn't do a full. No, man, we had to narrow it down. And to be grateful that that buyer actually bought it. I didn't have
Yeah,
to do it again. He actually
yeah.
bought it, man. He actually bought it. He actually closed on it. And he got a community. So what he's doing, and this is like the 3rd time I ran into a group like that, they buy the houses themselves, and then they seller finance, or they turn around and sell it to people in their group or in their community who just want to have an IRA or something, or just want to put some retirement funds into a property, and and just have a tenant in it. Because I did not see how the numbers worked on his end. I was just happy he wanted to buy it. That's all. you know.
Yeah. But sometimes you don't, right? Every buyer is different. Everybody has a different business model. That's why you need these groups like the Lifestyles, the New Westerns, the Networks.
Yes.
You need these people that have different buyers, right? And especially as the market's always turning, right? We're always looking for new buyers, right? And so I think that was a easy way. You didn't have any money into the deal, right? You had a relationship that you leaned on and you created money. And obviously, it's not going to be easy, right? It never is, but it's always worth it. So what was the agreement that you all made, if you don't mind me asking? Like, is there a certain percentage that was the marketing fee? And once you had a solid offer, how did that conversation go to get from the 1.7 to the 1.35 or whatever, the final number was?
So right out the gate, I'm counting the money like we all should. I mean, the money don't sell your soul, but out the gate, I'm gonna say, okay, what this looks like. Um, so at 1.8, she agreed to 3%. She said, "Hey, I do like 3%." And when she said that, I was like, "Oh shit, you're gonna do me 3%? You're not even gonna like try to lowball me because I'm not an actual realtor." So she was like, "Yeah, Brandon, I understand 3%." So when the offers start coming in, it was way lower than she expected, and so you got to pay me. So when she came, she was like, "Okay, anything." I think it was lower than 1.6 million. Anything lower than that, let's work out a 2% deal. I said, "Okay." Did the math. I said, "Okay, great, fine, let's go." Not about to be stupid. Like so, um, our agreement was 2%. Anything under 1.6 million. So I pretty much showed 8 houses. Um, for when we closed, it was 31,000. That was the fee when they dropped it. The 2% of 1.55, I believe, was 31. And if we would have stayed above, it would have been like 50. Just just for that relationship was 31,000, man. Um, and we negotiated. They tried to go like 1.5, 1.52, and I just stepped in a little bit here and there. And I actually used the NOIs. I actually had all the rents. That mattered. That mattered. We want to know how much you're making every month for the year and what your expenses are. So when I did that and I actually showed the buyer that, I drew that up for him. Hey, this is the NOI, man. These are the expenses, man. This is the cap rate, man. This is your return, bro. Like, this is the lowest we could go. And I had to convince her too now. Because once he said, okay, I'll take that, she was like, no, I don't want to go lower than 1.65. I said, okay, well, you need California buyers. You need some California buyers. And I think it's for the hassle. I think it was for the tenants. I think it was for the process of the process that she was like, okay, let's do this deal. They still won. Some of them still had mortgages on it, had to be paid off. And that's how we got that deal done, you know? And
No,
it
that's
didn't break her. It didn't break her. And actually she rewarded me with another package.
yeah. So what was the final purchase price that y'all agreed on? Was it the 1.65 or
1.55. So 1,550,000. That's like
gotcha?
193,000 a door, and the NOI was 169,000 a year.
Gotcha. And
So
what
she's
was the
making
cap rate ended up? What did the
the
cap
cap
rate
rate
end
like.
up?
Let me do it again. Hold up, I didn't write that down. I'll do it real fast. Um, the NOI is 169 divided by 1.55. It was like a 10.
Got which is ideal,
10
right?
cap rate.
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's
Yeah.
a 10 cap rate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really good, really good. And like you said, just providing that information to the buyer so it makes it easier for them. Sometimes you don't want to, do too much work for the buyer, but in those bigger deals like that, like it's by any means, right? To get the
Yeah.
deal done. And I mean, to be able to make 31,000, that was just the first deal, right? To make 31,000 off of a relationship
Yep.
is amazing. That's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
And confidence, I had to do that. I had to make I had to make that call, man. I had to not be scared. Because I know some of us be like, it might be pride. nah, she posted already. I ain't gonna deal with that. Nah, I saw opportunity. Um, so I had to have that confidence, bro. Because I did think about it when I saw it. Like, should I actually call this lady and mess with her about trying to sell her property? Yeah.
No, but the
Hey, so
relationship's there though. So,
I bet. No,
go
I
ahead.
was just gonna
Go ahead,
ask,
Tony.
how much of a percent deal was this, you think, like ballpark wise? Like not looking at it as like a multifamily, like each house or whatever, like an 80% deal of the ARV, or what do you think? How much retail? How
Yeah, they
close to
were
retail?
like, so I ran comps on like three, then I just stopped. That's how, at first, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, I would have never tried to lock that seller up if that was a seller. Look, I would have never
Uh-huh.
tried. I'd have never tried. Now I know better, but I would have never tried it. So I'm thinking at least 85%
Ooh,
per house. Yeah. Now
yeah.
she had a scope of work for all of them, right? When y'all
Mhm.
did Donald Bain, 2019,
Yeah,
2020,
literally
right?
2019.
So that ain't that long. That's not a house you had for 10 years. So some of this stuff was a little updated,
Yeah.
right? Um, the floors probably would be better. Like that's different from 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, man, you talking about 85% of deal a house. It was 193,000 a house. Average ARV maybe 225, 230.
Damn. Yeah,
There
you
you
have to have
go.
the exact exact buyer for that with the exact the perfect exit strategy.
So kind of use it as a multifamily. When I did
Yeah.
I don't know if I still got the email. I keep the emails, but I did an email like, hey, this is a multi, and then they all was kind of close to each other. That's another thing.
Mhm.
They're not like Pearland, Spring, Cypress. We drove all over. They kind of she did them right next to each other, so you could bounce around the blocks a couple of times. Um, they're right next to each other. Yep, most of them. So that wound up perfect too for like the showings. We just mapped it out and say we're gonna go right here, 3 minutes, 5 minute ride, go right here, 6 minute ride after that, go right here. Knock it out like that.
Yeah, thank God for technology though. Just make it you throw those
Yeah,
addresses in Google. But I
yeah,
think it's just so important to point out the opportunity, right? Like you said, there's so many like the pride thing, right? Because I think a lot of times like we're like, oh, I don't want to touch that deal, or oh, I don't want to reach out. And the worst they can say is no, right?
yeah.
And if it's somebody that trusts you, 90% of the time, if you make their life better or easier, they're gonna say yes to it, right? And I think you came in with an opportunity to help her because I can imagine, especially when you post a deal like that on Facebook, how many people are reaching out to you, right?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna lowball you. She's got to run numbers, and that I mean, I'm sure she's way too busy to be doing stuff like that. So for her, she will happily give up 31,000, right? Because if she puts them on the MLS, she's gonna end up doing the same thing anyways,
Yeah.
right? Maybe end up paying more. Um, is
6% or
gonna
5%.
trying to do the showings. Like agents aren't going to be nearly as hungry as you right now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe when the lawsuit's settled and stuff,
Yeah.
it's going to look a lot different. But my point being is, that's the joy of the grit, right? The grind, doing things that people don't want to do. But 31,000 in a month, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that we would, I mean, you know what I'm saying, take 2 days, you know what I mean? Maybe total hours, how many total hours you think you put into the deal? 5, 10,
Man.
maybe?
Nah, the drive, about 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
About 10 or 12. Not just for the showings. It was like all the conversations in between, all the
Yeah, the little
filtering.
stuff.
Yeah, all that
Yeah.
filtering people out, that kind
So
of stuff.
I'm glad you bring that up though. Like, what are some of the filters that you were using that you knew whether somebody was serious or they were another wholesaler just trying to sell the deal, right? Like, what did that filter process look like?
Well, by now, I kind of know some of the wholesalers here in Houston. You might miss some new ones. I think I know enough. Uh, and honestly, I don't care if you're a wholesaler. And most people that know me and I know them, they like, hey, if you can get it done, get it done. Just do it underground. They got to be under the table, man. You can't be, all over the world. So I don't mind that part. It was about uh the speed. So I did two things. When somebody went way lower with the price, I asked them how fast you can close.
Mm,
Right away. As soon as he came and said, "Hey man, we can't be here. We could be here." Well, how fast you can close? Because you said that too fast. Like you must know something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you see what I'm saying? You know something. So what's your timeline like after you see these houses? When can you close? 2 weeks. What? Let's go.
Yeah, are you
Hey,
asking for proof of
bro,
funds, or you're just trusting what they can say, or what? Because I know it's a lot bigger deal than a, $200,000
nah,
purchase.
proof of funds these days fake. So
Hmm.
it's the person, man. It's a person. I mean, they've had people show actual bank accounts. I mean, I actually used somebody else's bank account before, like a lender. It was like, "Hey, I just get my bank account, bro," and a screenshot of that. But I never asked for proof of funds because I could give you a proof. If I could give you a proof of fund, then I'm not asking. Right? If you need a $2 million proof of fund, I could give it to you. 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, I could give it to you. So I used the person. I knew the person who bought it. Actually, when he saw I had the deal, he sent me a picture of a screenshot we took at a networking event where we met, and he did like that, right? So everybody's phone number, they face show up on his phone. Was genius because everybody he meet, he take a picture with them so he know who they are when they call or text. And from that, I knew he was legit, right? And then he told me what his plan was. I said, okay, that could happen because I know somebody else who does that. They get a community, a pool of people of money. They raise the funds with their own people. He was like Pakistani, and they just buy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So some of the other filters, it was just nobody didn't want to put. A lot of people didn't want to put option money to walk the property. It was like, are
Okay.
you kidding me? Like this is a over a $1 million deal. The option money is 500. So if you're gonna spend 1.5, you got 500 to watch
Right.
to walk the property, man. We'll spend a little something just on skip tracing. We're trying to get the deals and spend 500. So you know that you're out. You're done. And that's how that was the main filter because it was fast. That pool is small. I even though I filtered people, I didn't have like 100 people calling me. you know, and somebody real respectable, somebody that I know could take that deal down, commented on my post and said, somebody tagged him and said, "Hey, look at this deal." And he came on there and he said, "That's such and such deal. That's Lily's deal, and that's retail. Wouldn't buy it." Pissed me
Mhm.
off. Pissed me off, man. Man, I was so all I did was go hide it though. I deleted. I didn't call him. I didn't text. I know him. I didn't
Yeah.
call him. I didn't text him. Like, why you did that? I just deleted. 3 years ago though,
Yeah.
I would call him. What the fuck wrong with you, man? Why you did that? I done some of that in 2019, right? But 2020. But now I just deleted it so nobody else didn't see it, so he couldn't mess it up. And
Yeah.
if you saw the post, I don't know if it was the one with Lily you saw or the one with my daughter, but one of them I said in there, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. I was really it's 31,000. We get some of that on a house sometime, one house. But closing that deal and seeing Lily smiling that title company and happy to get that stress off, bro. And I said, hey, let me take some pictures of y'all. She was like, I came for the pictures, Brandon. She told me I like taking pictures. I'm like, what? Like, let's go. You in a bubble. Like, let's go. Let's take some pictures, right? And that confidence I felt after that, like, I when you got some prominent people shooting the shit down, it was like that's kind of messed up. So that's another reason why I think I could close the deal. I did a lot of bad deals in multifamily, like not bad, but like they was expensive and nobody wanted to buy them. So, but I tried it.
Yeah.
And I
Mm.
tried it. So I like, man, let me try. And if she was willing to go down $250,000, man, you're gonna close that deal all day. If I couldn't get that deal closed, that was my fault.
Mm.
That's
No,
my fault. That's how I look at it. Think about that.
I think that's good that you like to hold yourself accountable. And I've definitely had those experiences, right? Real estate is one of those businesses where it's very ego driven, right? Everybody thinks they know everything, myself included, and we don't know shit, right? But I've learned, right, a lot of times when you make those smart ass comments and stuff, it always comes back A, to bite you, or B, if you don't make those like I made a post the other day that I saw that was basically like just letting people win the argument is the win, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes, especially with social media, you have to realize people are always going to have something to say. I'm gonna give you a key example. I was grilling burgers earlier today. I just wanted some lunch, and somebody literally commented and said, "Them burgers look crispy." I'm like, "Bitch, I like my shit crispy. What's up?" Like, You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, like, it made me think, like, people, no matter what you do, somebody's gonna have something to say. And with social media
Yeah,
too, it's giving everybody a range to just say what they want to say with no repercussions, right? A lot
yeah.
of
My
us are
wife was just
old.
saying that the other day.
A lot of us are older, right? Like, like that. I mean, in high school, it's talk shit, get hit, right? Like people will
Yeah,
hit you and it was different, right? But I say that to say I don't want people to get discouraged, especially like if you're newer on this journey. I know we're talking about, an 8-house package, but all the principles and all the things that you're talking about can be applied to one package, 100 package, apartment, a new development.
yeah.
It's all the same
Facts.
principles. And that's why I like having people like you in this group that can give value from recent deals, right? Ben and I are closing a wholesale deal this week that we'll probably talk about next week. But I like seeing, your success. Like I said, I know the person. So to get in that door with them to now. So after you all close, what is that conversation? She's automatically like, hey, I got another one that's even bigger, or how does it go, right? Y'all are at the closing table. She's smiling. And she's liquid now, right? Which also, Ben, this tells us what people who own a lot of houses are doing right now, right? I think that's another thing to
Yeah,
take note. They're gearing
yeah,
up. Why are they gearing
yeah.
up, right? So talk about what that conversation looks like after y'all, you know what I mean? When you're like, hey, look, we're locked,
Hmm.
we're closing tomorrow. Cause I know she happy, right? She's skipping to the
Yeah,
title company. 1.6 in your pocket. I mean, you probably got to pay
yeah.
some taxes. She made 1031 it, but that's a nice little
She going
payday, right?
1031. They got some land. They're gonna build some multifamily on. So,
Okay.
and then they're doing their own construction. She already ready to go. Got the land. She's looking for more, by the way, too. And I think the area is north side. I meant to get that. I forgot. I got it in my notes though. But when we were doing the 8 houses, she told me she had more before. Before, I'm trying to think. Let me go back. I think like 34 or something. We were talking to bigger numbers before I even found a buyer for the 8.
Mm.
So that was extra incentive. I'm glad you asked that question that way. I kind of forgot that. That was extra incentive to like, oh shit, if I get this done, this was coming, right? So she had another package, but she felt like they were more expensive. And they actually are. But they actually look better too. So it's like, oh shit, you climb one hill, now it's a mountain.
Mhm.
Now you get a bigger test, but we are for the challenge. But so at the closing table, um, she was like, "Hey, I think it was more. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. I think I forgot what day it was. We actually closed, but she wanted to wrap up that week, and she said, "I'm gonna send you the package for the 17th." Now, come to find out, she still was reluctant on the price for the 17th, and I still had to buy for that, even though I got it. When she first shared it, I was like, "Ooh," it was like, "Ooh," And she said, "Okay, I understand." I'm thinking we gonna, I'm thinking we gonna talk about it. Man, the next time we talked, she had a link with a broker in North Carolina, got it all broken down. He gonna do it. And I was like, what happened to
Yeah.
me? So we had the conversation. Um, I'm glad the broker did it though. I got a link now. It's broken down in terms. I don't even understand all of it. I just look at the numbers at the bottom. Okay, that's how much you make. That's how much you spend. All
Mm.
that other cap X and shit, I ain't paying attention to it. I don't know the cap. Yo, you know the cap X, right? You flipping and you got rentals. I don't know the cap X and stuff. I'll study it one day, but I knew enough to talk enough to get the deal and sell it. You understand? So in other words, I still had to fight for it.
Mm.
She said you could get it, but when she first told me the price, it was like, ooh, that's high as shit. And then she said, okay, I understand. And she just politely moved on. Real
So
nicely.
when we're talking high, how high do you mind sharing? Like,
17 houses for 4.25 million.
Yeah, that's
that's
17
that's
houses for 4.25 million. We did 8 for 1.55. You just added another 8. What happened to 2.10 or whatever that adds up to be, right? What happened to that? To 3. He went to 4, man. And I
yeah,
said, initially I turned it down. I don't want to say I turned it down, but it was like, ooh, that really was my exact words.
yeah. That's 247 a pop. Just rough numbers right there.
Now, I know 2 of the properties, so they're like 200, but the other ones are like 350. Some of these rents coming in are 3,100 a month. $3,000 a month, you know? So it's gonna offset, but it's still like I can't present that to you, Derek. Ben, would you buy that?
Yeah, not for me, but right, but that just shows there's a buyer, right? For
Yeah.
anything. So what is your price? How long has it been since you got it under contract? What has the process been like selling this one now that it's even bigger?
So once she showed me the broker who had it and he wasn't in Texas, I just started shooting. All my guns was blazing, right? He's in North Carolina somewhere. He's connected with California and this and that. So I was like, hey, those people are looking at it differently. They're spending money like this. They might buy, they might not. Um, but I'm gonna tell you this: they don't know like the market, like the streets.
Mm,
So I had to sell myself like that. Like Katy is good. She got a lot in Katy, right? So this area in Katy, yeah, that's banging, but not all of them. Like you
yeah.
got 70 houses, about 4 or 5 of them is about 350. Like ARV 350, 375. You looking good, 2-story, 3,500 square foot, 3,200 square foot. That look nice. But then we go, a couple of, 10 minutes a little up northeast from Katy, and you got a 1-story. That one like 225 now. And I think they're gonna drag you out. So she said, okay, what you got? So I said, okay, just let me market it. Shut it down, let me market it. We ain't signed no contract. It's all trust now, you know?
Hmm.
And I trust him because the same buyer who bought the first 8 while we were showing it tried to undercut me.
Talk about that a little
Not
bit if you
that,
don't mind.
not that particular deal, but the next ones. He was already setting up for the next. Because once you see a couple of addresses, they own this, oh, they own that,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
he tried it, bro, and not in my face, but he did it. It was like, man, you kidding me? And I couldn't kill a deal, so I didn't choke him.
What did he do though, if you don't mind sharing?
He asked him, he was like, hey, on your next deal, think about think about us. We'll buy him. Hey, what else you got
Just
going on?
little stuff, yeah.
That stuff, like you say, when you come look at a property, don't say nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep your mouth, keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah, that's what you say. Don't when you come look at a property, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Now, I'm there. We're talking about housing, like we're talking about Houston Section 8 compared to Harris County Section 8, two different things, right? So I'm getting knowledge actually while they conversate about that. As soon as I walk off, he telling them, hey, once we close this, send me all you got, that kind of stuff. And Lily brother Lewis, he called me. He was like, bro, I just want to let you know, this is what he tried. And he said it. And then Lily called me. And when she did it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
She was like, Brandon, don't do nothing, don't say nothing, just letting you know that they're trying to get more deals and more stuff. I was like, okay, great. And sure enough, she didn't renege on me. They didn't backdoor me for the second set, right? So as soon as I got it, he the first person I text.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, bro, I got the 17. What you want to do? I mean, it's business, you know.
Yeah.
And
No,
I told him the
hey,
first,
that's a
yeah,
really good point. Unfortunately, bro, I don't want that point to go overlooked because so in the 50 Cent book I just read like a couple months ago, he talks about that, right? Like you end up,
yeah.
I have
I'm
I have
listening to it though.
I have cussed people out and we still do the deal, bro. Like it ain't nothing personal, and that's where it can get fucked up sometimes, is because you can take it a little bit more personal, and you have to understand it's just business, right? And we get our feelings and tied in it, so it's like you may say some things but try not to go over the board, over the edge, and you
Yeah,
still may get the deal done. Who knows, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, you want to draw the line. Like, man, I'm not the one, man. Don't put me like that. But, I can't choke him. I
Yeah,
keep
right.
saying,
Hey, Brandon, so have you
man, that
sent
was,
that deal yet? The 17 package? You've already sent it out or no?
man, we got a contract. We walked the 17 houses Friday and Thursday. I had a buyer. We
Okay.
walked it. We settled in at 3.85 million right now. And today, well, tomorrow I should get the final deal if they want to pull a trigger or come back with a little lower price.
Got you.
Gotcha.
So it was all gears going. It was nonstop. Like we're going. Let's go. Let's go.
And it
Yeah.
would it, I mean, if it's a discounted price, I'm assuming it would be the same, like 2%, or you'll figure it out once you get a buyer locked in.
Nope. She signed already. It's 2%. Since it went under 4 million, it's 2%. It's 2%. So
Gotcha.
status quo right now, if it does close, which I don't think that buyer going to come back at 3.85, I walk those houses with them. Um, Right now, if it does stay, that's 77,000%.
Mm.
So if they were to be like, oh, everything is la la land and everything is lovely on my end, God willing, and they keep it at the same price, that's 77,000, and that's 108,000 or 112,000 in 2 months. Now
That's
that's a
crazy.
different ball game. That's super crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
last couple of days, I'm gonna just say this. The last couple of days, I try to set my cold call up and my operations manager up to work a little more better without me, because I had some shit to do.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
those deals are the ones that are like, they just take you up that next level, right? More money to put in the business, more money for you and your family, more money to save. And then we're definitely going to get an update, right? Like in a few months, I want to
oh
know if it
hell yeah.
goes through and how it goes, right? Because
Oh man,
the,
hell
co-
yeah.
the continued growth, right? Like even we're learning. I'm sure there's some buyers we could talk to, right, to make this happen as well. Like it's just very insightful, and I mean, there's so many
Oh
lessons
really?
in these deals. You know what I mean? Like to be able to potentially make 100 grand in 2 to 3 months off of one relationship with no money,
Relationship.
and I mean, you're gonna have gas and your time into the deal, but theoretically, you didn't put any marketing, you know what I mean? Like all your marketing came from other deals that you were trying to sell them, right? Or that they bought from you. Um, bro, that's beautiful. And
Hey,
I hope that
it's,
it goes through. I pray that it does
man,
for you.
yeah, I appreciate that. And you hit it on the nose with like the other market. And I wrote a few things down. It was like I said some of it, but over time it was the consistency and being brave, having confidence, integrity, being honest, and speed. I forgot to mention that. Um,
Mm.
I had to stop some of the other shit I had going on just for the speed. I don't know if y'all watch BMF. Um, I don't know if y'all watch BMF, but I saw that last episode, and they had to sell a lot of work to make a little money just for the relationship. Like it was
Mm.
just we just watched it like come on Friday, we didn't watch it till Sunday night. But the point is, it was funny that we watched that show because just for that relationship, they took a loss.
Mm.
And I wouldn't consider this a loss, but I bought some coffee and a bottle of water, bro, when we sat down. That's what I bought besides gas. I bought us some coffee and some water, man.
Yeah, no,
And
That's
I want to say something
that
with Alex right quick. I want to say something to Alex on here. Alex sent a deal that he asked me to look at with him. And if you remember, Alex, that Friday, I couldn't get to it till like later that day or something. It was late or whatever. That's what I was doing. I was walking in 17 houses. I like, bro, I promise I ain't forget about you. I'm coming. I'm going to help you with it. But I was walking them houses, like everything shut down.
Thanks, man.
yeah, no, and we appreciate you helping people. And I appreciate you sharing, my man. That's like this is, why we wanted to do the group, right? Is to bring people together, people that are doing deals, people that are growing. We can help bring each other, right? A tide lifts all seas, so or all boats, I'm sorry. But my point is like just being able to help each other, pour into each other and see what's really possible, right? Because I think for me, that was the hardest part when I first got started. Like meeting Ben was like everything to me because I didn't know that many people, especially that look like me, that are as young as me, in the same situation. You know what I mean? So to see we have all different types of people in the group that are going to be doing deals or already doing deals. When you see that and you're around them and we can talk, and I mean, you guys are feel free to message on Mighty Networks or get each other's numbers, whatever it is to work together. If Ben and I can't help, I know you're here. James is typically here. There's a couple people in the group, even if they don't show up, they're in Mighty Network. So I just want to reiterate that for you guys that are, if we don't get back quick enough, sometimes I don't get the notification, or me, I get the notification. A lot of times I type up the message and then I get another text message, right? I'm like squirrel and I'm just off. So it's just so good to have that and to have you in the group, man. So I really like
Appreciate
I'm
that.
praying that it closes, and I can't wait to hear about it because like I said, I know this person. I have like there's few people in Houston that I have a lot of respect for, right? You being one of them, and definitely her because I know she's been in the business so long. She's helped us, she's
Yeah.
closed deals with us. um and the other deal, like I said, the most recent one that I did with her, I mean, it was at the beginning of 2023. But it was another one of those deals where this wholesaler sent me a deal, and he was like, "Hey, I have it at," I think he had it at like 120. And you know, for us, typically I won't even look at a deal unless I'm getting 50-50, and he didn't want a 50-50. And my ego ate at me all night because I was like, Derek, what if you're leaving money on this table and you're just being egotistical? So I was like, hey, bro, fuck it. Let me just shoot it out. Give me 2 days, right? And I shot it out, and within 10 minutes, she took it at
Yeah.
160. So I still ended up,
Nice.
we made 50-50. He made 20. Ben and I made 20. It took me literally an hour of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Ben and I each got 10K for it. But if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have went back. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. Mhm. And I've also had to do it where, like you said, I've done deals based off a relationship. I've probably done 5 to 10 deals where I haven't made no money. Like I just did it to help other people, to take care of the seller, to better that relationship. They'll bring me more deals down the road.
Yeah.
This business is something me and my wife have been talking about, Ben and I as well. It's like real estate is the most humbling business. I can tell you guys the most humbling thing you will ever do in your life. But when you see and you meet people like Lily that's built something from nothing, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just hustling. Hispanic people take care of themselves, build the culture, build the business, and take care of each other. When you see that, you see what's possible, you know, over 20 something plus years. And we have other relationships like that. But when you meet people like that and you see what's truly possible, I mean, they're all going to tell you the same thing. It's not always going to be lovely. It's going to be humbling. You're
Right.
going to take a lot of L's, but you
Yeah.
get to meet great people. You get to change your life. So I think it's beautiful. And like I said, when I saw that Donald Bain, and the house that I probably sold her last year was in there too. I can't remember the address, but you know, with Donald Bain, when it just all clicked because I got on Facebook and I saw your post and I was like, I bet you that house was in that package deal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
It
like I
was in
said,
there.
it's just crazy how I came full circle. So I mean, to wrap it up though, is there anything else you wanted to touch on or that you know takeaways from it? Because I mean, you did a really good job explaining it, and you know the main points I feel like we brought out.
I appreciate that. Main takeaways, I would say you never know the future. So
Mm.
walk, like treat people like you want to be treated, man. They got some scumbags. And treat people how you want to be treated. Always treat people how you want to be treated. That's my takeaway. And I just think from always treat her with respect, or she's seeing any post that I might be commenting on somebody else shit, and it ain't really right, you know, raunchy or whatever we say now. It ain't really like disrespectful. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Say, okay, I could deal with this guy. Because what if the deal goes sour? And she say,
Mm.
you know, I'm not dropping my price no more. I'm not doing that. And I'm 100% right. Like your numbers suck. Now what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an asshole to you. She don't, you know, she might not want to work with me. Like I see you look like an asshole. Your comments are assholeish. You move around. So that's one takeaway, man. You never know who you're gonna meet. Always move with some respect. I think one of the biggest one is confidence, though. Like you gotta wear it. Ain't nobody gonna give it
Mm.
to you.
Mm.
Yeah, hey,
And
I was just.
I,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I just want to say, like when you said how you met Ben and y'all was younger, man. When I came in this game, I wasn't young, so it was like failure not an option. I came in at like 40, like it's time to go. Like you know, I don't have no room for playing or losing. I mean, we lose, but you know, we have to succeed. So my network, if I'm looking for 40 plus, it's a little different than 35 and under and 30 and under. I'm admiring 30 and under. They like fucking getting it. I'm like, shit, I wish I would have saw this shit when I was that age, but that's another takeaway. Fighting that in my inner self because most everybody a little younger, but a lot of people not in it, but once you in it, everybody's in it.
Yeah.
So that was a takeaway right there, like confidence, man. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, great takeaways, by the way, and I appreciate you sharing and you know just being vulnerable of the whole deal. So since you got this from Facebook, is this gonna change how you maneuver on Facebook going forward, or like, are you gonna start shooting your shot on every deal post that you see, even if the numbers don't make sense?
Man, that's a great question, bro. I did that because I knew who that person was.
Mm.
Okay,
Derek,
that's major,
Derek,
right?
Derek, Derek hit it on the nose. I know her. and I felt like
Yeah.
I had a door. I was like, and I opened it like, what are you doing? Like, you're bigger than that. Don't do that. Blah blah blah. Kind of like that. Now, I'm always on Facebook. Don't get me wrong, because supporting brings marketing. Like, so if I don't
Yeah.
even post anything, if I see something, like I try to do social media before 9. I'm gonna look at whatever I could, whatever I see, and boom, 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 the shit out of people. Right? I'm gonna boom y'all when I see y'all. So now you know what it is. Now if I do a little more, now I took it a little, like I'm laughing and shit. But I gotta support, because once I get into the team, into the grind, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now, throughout the middle of the day, I do it again, because it's like Derek said, the algorithm. So I might have something to say. I might just want to like something so somebody else could see it, and it brings it all back to us. Will I chase other people? No, because we got like we got our cold calling going on. We got our SMS going on. We just give trade 24,000 leads the other day. We hitting 24,000 new leads, like, and I'm hands on, so I'm in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the short answer to that is no.
Got you.
Yeah, unless I see one of y'all post it, then I'm gonna say, "Hey, what are you doing, bro? Like, why you
Right.
posting that?"
Hey, for
For real.
real. No, I think that's so important. Like you said, I wouldn't do that with just anybody, but like you say, you knew that person, you knew the reputation, and you knew the likelihood of them probably saying yes because you knew you could point out the pain points of the deal and be real enough to tell them, they'll trust your opinion to be like, hey, this is a little high, but I do think we can get in the ballpark, right? And all of that comes from the relationship that Facebook is low key been helping you build, right, over the last couple. I mean, that's really how I feel like I got
Sure,
to know you, right? And then I started seeing you
for
at
sure.
events, and then we started texting. You know what I mean? Just adding value. So
Yeah,
I think it's so many important things to building a relationship with the person, and a lot of times it has to do with them. It's the same with sellers, right? We're just asking questions, genuinely caring about the person, and seeing how you can add value. And if you do that, you're 99% of the time, right, you're going to make money off of it. And if it's not as much as you want, it's always going to come back a lot more. I promise. Like, like you said, now
yeah,
you have the 17 deal going.
yeah.
So no, I think
But I
that's
would
good.
like to share that, man. If you really think you got somebody that might could grab that? It's really a link. I'm gonna share that to you. I'm gonna send an email with the link, and everything is on a link.
Okay.
Um, right now we are under contract. We are, but until they come back and say, yeah, the option period is like today was it. So just to let you know, today was the option period. This is the last day, pretty much. So tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, because of the size of the money, we want to see what they say. But I send a link, and then and one more takeaway for anybody else who's doing something like this. Um, I can't I can't ignore the knowledge. Confidence was one takeaway. Integrity was another one. But you had to have some knowledge. You had to know something. And all the losses in the beginning, when I was dealing with a bunch of multifamily, thinking I was gonna close and make $100,000 in one deal back then, I wasted about 8 months. I ain't gonna lie, I wasted about 7 to 8 months trying to wholesale multifamily from people I didn't know. I learned a lot about the NOIs. I learned a lot about the cap rates. I learned a lot about uh, the profit and loss expense sheets and all the different things that go along with that. The maintenance fee, the property management percentage, and so when you get a house package, you're treated the same.
Mhm.
In no other way. You could comp each one, but if they got tenants in it, it's income.
Yeah, no, at that point, it's a
It's
small
income.
business. It's a small business that they're purchasing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Small business. I didn't look at it that way. Nice.
Yeah, because that's the joy of multifamily, right? Is that you can create that income, you can, add expenses for you know what I mean, or just create income, whether that's you add
Hmm.
laundry or whatever it may be to the property. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's beautiful, awesome. Well, once again, I really appreciate you sharing with the group. As always, this will be recorded for the people who couldn't make it. I think this is an important one. I know we had a low turnout, but I appreciate those that showed up because there's a lot of valuable information in here. So yeah, as always, we'll be active on Mighty Networks throughout the week. I'm trying to get better about start doing, more posts than just once or twice a week. We may look at bringing a VA in to help create some content for you guys, but we're constantly adding stuff. So, like I said, if you guys have requests on certain videos, things you want to see, or you're just genuinely curious about, I'll be happy to make a video, or Ben will, about it. I think we have another live cold calling session coming up, whether it'll be on a Monday night or during the week. And then, yeah, if you guys need anything, we're always here. Brandon's always here. There's plenty of people in the group that are doing deals. And if y'all have questions come up, there's no such thing as a dumb question in this group. You guys are paying money to be here. I am happy to answer those questions. So I know Ben is as well. So,
I got an
reach out.
example. Last year we did 20 deals, and I still ask you. By the way, thank you for the HUD, the reading the
Oh, yeah.
HUD. That's my thing about a stupid question. We closed 20 deals last year, and I still ask for the HUD video. like, hey man, I'm just looking at this timing fee. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see where my money at. But
Mhm.
when we did the 16 units in Birmingham, they had a lot of different shit going on with that HUD. And the transactional lender that helped us close it, if she wasn't working on that HUD like that, I would have missed a lot of it. So I appreciate y'all sending that recording. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, dope, guys. We're gonna get out of here. If you need anything throughout the week, please let us know. Thank you again to Brandon, and yeah, reach out, guys. Like I said, we'll be active in Mighty Network, so anything that comes up, feel free to reach out. But other than that, y'all enjoy your night. Have a productive week, and I'll see you guys.
Peace.
See you later.